Hey there, it's J.R. Thomas, Mr. Just Right, your reggae realtor. And today I want to let you in on something very big. If you and your partner are thinking about buying your first home, listen up because I'm going to share the three most deadly mistakes I see couples make time and time again. Okay? These mistakes don't just cost you peace of mind, they can cost you thousands of dollars. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to avoid them and to make sure your first home purchase is a smart one. So let's dive right into it. Deadly mistake number one, overpaying because of emotional attachment. The first mistake is something that almost every couple makes, overpaying because of emotional attachment. And believe me, I get it. You walk into a home and you can feel it. It's the perfect house, the perfect location, and you can picture your family living there for years. But here's the problem. You end up falling in love with the idea of the home and lose sight of the reality. Is the price right? Are you paying for what the house is really worth, or are you letting your emotions take control? Here's the reality. The minute you let emotions drive your decisions, you're putting your financial future at risk. Sure, it's exciting to find the house of your dreams, but you've got to keep your cool. What I always tell my clients is this is about finding a home you love, but also making sure it's a smart financial decision. How to avoid the mistake? Well, here's how you avoid getting caught up in this emotion. You need to stay focused on the value. That's right, value. That's where working with an experienced agent comes in. Someone like me, who's going to help you evaluate properties based on comparable sales, neighborhood growth, and the future resale value. We'll make sure you're getting a fair deal. Even if you're falling in love with the place, that's about balancing your dream home with your financial security. Deadly mistake number two, underestimating long-term costs. The second deadly mistake is the one that catches almost everyone off guard, underestimating long-term costs. Okay? You have to plan for these things. Buying a home is more than just a down payment and a monthly mortgage. You've got to think about things like property taxes, home insurance, maintenance, and those unexpected repairs that always seem to pop up. Here's the scenario. You buy the house, you're all settled in, and 6 months later, the heating system breaks down. That's a couple of thousands of dollars you did not budget for. So suddenly, your affordable home is a lot more expensive than you thought, right? So, how to avoid this mistake? So, how to protect yourself? You have to plan ahead. Before you even make an offer, I work with my clients to do a complete cost analysis of the entire home. We look at everything, the age of the roof, the heating system, the foundation. You need to know what you're walking into and have a realistic budget for ongoing costs. I always recommend, setting aside a small buffer for unexpected expenses. So you're never going to be caught off guard. You don't want any surprises. Deadly mistake number three, ignoring market trends. Now let's talk about the third mistake, ignore market trends. When you're buying your first home, it's easy to get so focused on finding the right house that you forget to consider what's happening in the market around you. Are properties values in the area going up? Is there future development plans that could impact the neighborhood? Or are you buying in an area where values are on the decline? It's so important. Your home isn't just where you live. It's an investment for your future, okay? So, if you buy in the wrong area or at the wrong time, you could be stuck in a home that doesn't appreciate in value, or worse, loses value over time. How to avoid this mistake? So, how you make sure you're buying in the right areas? That's where I come in. As your agent, I don't just show you houses, okay? I help you understand the big picture. We look at neighborhood trends, upcoming developments, school zones, the future resale potential. This way, you're not just buying a home, you're making a sound investment that will grow with you over the years. Okay, so to recap, the 3 deadly mistakes to avoid when buying your first home are overpaying because of an emotional attachment. Number 2, underestimating long-term costs. And number 3, ignoring market trends. So if you're serious about buying your first home and want to avoid these costly mistakes, let's talk. I specialize in helping couples just like you to navigate the entire process, from finding the perfect home, making sure you're making a sound financial decision. Don't get into this alone, okay? Let me be your guide to buying you your first home, doing it the right way. So click the link below to schedule a free consultation, and let's get started on finding a home that's perfect for both your heart and for your future.